This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, this is Kevin Hadley with hh2 Cloud Services, and I appreciate you taking a moment to review this short presentation. And I'll do my best. There are a number of items within hh2 Cloud Services that we offer, but trying to condense this video down to about 20 minutes will be a little bit difficult, but I'm going to do my best and introduce you to hh2 Cloud Services and what we do. So first and foremost, just to let you know that hh2 Cloud Services is a third-party developer with Sage. We have very good ties in with Sage and are the #1 time entry out in the marketplace today for both Sage 300 CRE and Sage 100 Contractor. We are a fully hosted cloud solution that can be used anytime, anywhere, using a web browser, on a laptop or a desktop computer. If you, as a company, are using tablets and smartphones, we also have native apps that can be downloaded from the Google Play or Android Store Marketplace, and or with the Apple App Store if you're using iOS devices. So again, it can be used anytime, anywhere, by anybody. It depends on your configuration from the system. Now, the other critical point to note is we also integrate very seamlessly with both Sage 300 CRE and Sage 100 Contractor. And to talk real briefly about that, just to let you know, we install what we call an integration client. It's a service that's going to run on your server that pulls in and stays connected with information that's in your accounting system, such as all of your employees, your jobs, cost codes, extras, sub-jobs, whatever you might call them. We also pull in unions. We pull in certifications, or not certifications, but classifications and certified classes, pay groups they're called in Sage 100. That information located in your accounting system is uploaded to hh2. We can do what we call a continuous sync. So as soon as you put something in your accounting system, meaning you hire an employee, or you add a new job or a cost code to a job, instantly that information is uploaded to hh2, and that means guys out in the field, people in the home office, can start coding time to jobs, cost codes, equipment, etc., that came directly from your accounting system. So we eliminate the need for any duplicate entry in our system. Now, we allow you to configure hh2 to set up your own approval path. Who codes time? Is it an individual employee? Is it a crew manager? Is it an office employee? Anybody can do that, given the right permissions. Time records are then sent through your customized approval path until it reaches the payroll admin. Typically is the last person in line. That payroll admin reviews all of the time records, and then we take those time records and either export them out of hh2 for Sage 300 CRE and import them into the payroll module. Or if you're a Sage 100 customer, we actually do a direct import into the 551 daily time entry field in Sage 100. Okay, so just giving you a heads up there. That's the foundation of hh2. Now, so we can get through this presentation, let's take you to our website, show you that first, then I'll show you what it looks like on the mobile device. I'm going to jump into the back end real quick because it might be beneficial. I'm going to log in as just an administrator in the system because I want to show you something, how configurable hh2 is. So these off to the left-hand side are all the modules that we offer here at hh2, depending on which modules you subscribe to: remote payroll, AP routing and approval for document flow, remote field reports for daily logs, HR, pay stubs, field service. We're going to jump into the payroll module real quick, and we're going to talk about setting up payroll groups. So please know that if you can set up as many groups in here as you want. I'm going to look at Frank's group today. In our system, we have several settings that you can turn on or off. Do you want shifts, attendance, breaks? Do you want to track unit descriptions? Do you want to allow these guys to code to jobs, child jobs, GL accounts, departments? You can see everything that we support here. Virtually everything that you can do in Payroll, hh2 supports. Then you can set up an approval path, whether that goes level 1, 2, and 3, whether that goes level 1 to 2, whether it goes you have 5 or 10 levels. It doesn't really matter in hh2. You design the system how you would like. You can set up these groups with the employees, or just trust the foreman or group manager to choose those employees in the field. You can decide which pay IDs they have access to. You can even limit jobs if you want to. You can limit cost codes they see, GL accounts. You can allow them to code time to certified classes, union locals. Again, a host of things that you can do here. We're going to go back over to here. We're going to close that out. I just wanted to show that to you so you had an idea of how configurable the system is. Every group can be configured separately. So if you've got different parameters or things that you would like to do. I'm going to log in today as Frank Galloway. Frank is my superintendent. Frank could also be an individual employee doing their own time. I'm going to show you a couple things. I'm going to go to the remote payroll timesheet. So if I'm doing this and I'm a foreman, Frank is my foreman. He's my superintendent. Frank has been on the Northwest Food Warehouse job, and it remembers the cost codes he and his crew have been coding time to. So it might be as simple as coming in here and saying, hey, you know what, my guys, each of these 3 guys worked on concrete removal. This guy worked on excavating and backfill. And then Frank Galloway worked 4 hours on concrete removal and 4 hours on excavating and backfill himself. Okay, I just coded time very quickly to a job that we've already been on before. It remembers the job and the cost code. This is my crew. Now, let's say that today, by chance, we had a new guy show up. Up in the upper right-hand corner, I have the ability to tap on members and say, you know what, we had Jose show up today. He's going to help me out. I can add Jose. Remember, Jose came from your accounting system, so I have the correct employee name, number. I can take photos. So if I've got 10 different Jose Garcias, I can tell which one I'm adding here because of his photo. Now, if Jose worked 3.5 hours on this code for me today, and maybe 3.5 hours on that code, and then let's say by chance Jose also worked on a new code that I have not added previously to my time card. We're going to show you how to add that. Right here, I have a plus button where I can click on that. Since I already have a job in context, it's going to pull up a list of jobs that have been set up in my accounting system on the budget for that job. Okay, I'm not going to see all of the other ones. With that being said, for some of you who might listen to this, you might want to give your guys access to the standard list of cost codes because you may not set up a budget on every single job. Completely configurable, completely up to you. But for today's demonstration, I'm going to tell you, I'm only seeing cost codes that have been set up on that job. So if we're working on asphalt paving and cement paving as well on this job, I can select add, and I can add those to my timesheet. So now I have 4 different cost codes that were on the Northwest Food Warehouse, and say, hey, this employee also worked a half hour on that code and a half hour on that code. So I can get very granular if I need to. Okay, very simple. Again, this is what we call a daily time card. It's Tuesday, July 7th, 2020, and these are my guys on my crew. Let's say that it's tomorrow. Okay, it's on Wednesday now. Well, it remembers the same job and codes. So maybe some of my guys, you know, might be very simple. Let's just go in there, throw some time. Hey, that's easy. Now, let's say that Frank and Jose actually went to a different job, worked part of the day on this job, and then they want to add a new job to their timesheet. Very simple. Down here in the lower left-hand corner, I click Add Jobs, select a job. Again, these are listed jobs that came from Sage. I can limit those if I need to. For those of you who also do sub-jobs or extras, we also support that. So you get an example of that right here. I'm just going to add the Fort Wayne Officers Club, put in a cost code, and say on this particular job, we're working on these 2 items. Okay, so I'm just selecting those. Now, please note, we also support adding time to a GL account, certified class unions, again, a host of things that we can do. So if by chance these guys each work 2.5 hours on this job, right, for a minute doing some cement paving, and then they jumped over to this job, spent 2.5 hours each on this code, and then spent the rest of the day simply putting in permanent forms. So now I've got 8 hours coded to Frank Galloway and Jose Garcia. Okay, so hopefully that just made sense to everybody. Also, where I'm putting these hours are to pay types. Such as regular and overtime. We support every pay type that you have set up in Sage, whether that's Sage 300 CRE or Sage 100 Contractor. These are available for you. You can also do regular, overtime, premium time, double time, whatever you call your pay types. You can do holiday, sick, vacation, and we'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute. Now, that's a daily timesheet. Now, I'm going to show you also what a weekly timesheet might look like. So I'm going to tap on weekly. Here's Jose Garcia, and maybe Jose worked for us for the rest of the week, and I wanted to just code his time. Maybe he came in on Friday. We also put in some overtime, and so that's what I have for him on my job. Now, maybe somebody else coded time for Jose on Monday. That's fine. Both myself and the other manager can be coding time for this employee. But I wanted to have you have an idea of how that works. I'm just going to come in here and throw some hours in for Jose, just so we have a complete weekly time card here. Okay, so very simple. He's got 40 regular hours, 2 hours of overtime. Now, let's go to another employee real fast. We're going to go to Donald Black. Let's say that Donald Black, this was his timesheet for the week. However, Donald wants to take Friday off. You can also change your pay IDs up here at the top, say paid time off. And let's say that we didn't want to apply it to a job, but we want to apply his time off to a GL code, which happened this morning with one of my demos. Their company applies it to a GL. So I'm going to come in here, put in 8 hours of vacation for this Donald Black, and I'll throw in a comment. This is a daily comment of why I have vacation. Okay, so just putting something in there for you. Again, host of things. I could go through a myriad of things here for you as well, just showing you how to change things up. So now this employee has 8 hours of vacation, 32 hours of regular pay, and I'm done with his timesheet. Now, for those of you who are interested in either group clocking in and out, you can easily do that as well. In remote payroll, I can do what we call an attendance worksheet. And let's say that my crew typically starts at 7, we take our lunch breaks, we have other breaks, we end at 3:30, and I want to apply this time to these 3 employees. I click apply, and so it helps me with regulating if I'm in an area where they need to have in and out times for my crew. This is a nice simple way. What that looks like on an employee's timesheet. Now I'm going to take you back to back to Donald Black. It shows 8 hours up here. Now I'm going to do something else. I'm going to show you how to clock in and out on the phone. We can also do it on the web, but let's transition now to the web browser or to the mobile phone for just a minute. Again, I'm going to try and go as quickly as possible. Okay. Now here's my phone. This is actually my iPhone. It's not a simulator. You can see a wonderful picture of me and my wife in the background. Let's go to Jose Garcia for a minute. And if I tapped right here, this is what we call a daily time card for Jose. You can see the hours automatically came over from the website. Okay. Now I mentioned to you, I was going to show you how to clock in from a phone. Individual employees can clock in and out if they want, or a foreman, they could clock out on an iPad or some type of kiosk. I'm going to come in here, tap on the punch clock. I told you I was going to choose Ted Dumont. So we're going to choose Ted Dumont, and this is me on my phone. You can see me kind of moving around. I'm going to clock in, And that allows me to capture a punch for the day. Now, because I can't punch out for another minute, I'm going to show you, well, maybe we'll choose another employee. We'll say Jimmy Franks, and we'll punch in as Jimmy Franks as well. Not only am I capturing the photo of that employee to make sure it's them that clocked in, I'm also capturing the GPS from my phone, and I'll show you how that works. So I can clock in and out. I can see different timesheets. I can see a weekly time card, a daily time card, and we have also something called time entry. If I did a weekly time card, I'm seeing one employee for the entire week. Here's Jose Garcia. If you remember, all of his time records from the web have already come over here. That's great. Let's say if I wanted to finish Frank Galloway's time. So here's all of the jobs for Frank. Here's the time cards for him. We've only got time on Tuesday and Wednesday, so let's finish off Monday. Say this is what Frank did on this day. We'll come over here, put some hours for Frank there on Thursday and Friday. So now Frank has a 40-hour week. Let's say Frank had to run out to the job site on Saturday. So I'm going to tap some overtime. I'll put in 2 hours. Now, for some of you who want detail in regards to what those guys did, we also have a button called detail. Tap on the detail, put in the description, and instead of typing on my little phone, I'll just use the microphone and use type to text so that I don't have to use the little keyboard on my mobile phone. Okay, so very simple, very easy. We call that a unit description. It allows people in the office to see that description. Sometimes people like to take the notes. Okay, so now I've done a couple people's time cards. Again, there's a host of other things that we can do. Now, let's do this. Let's go back to that daily time card. Let's go to Ted Dumont. Let's choose Ted. We don't have any attendance yet, so let's do this. Sorry about that. I'm trying to do this too fast. I'm going to punch out Ted Dumont. Not literally, but we'll clock him out for the day. Okay, so Ted punches out. Let's also punch out Jimmy Franks here. So I've captured all of those photos. Now, if I happen to go to those individuals' time cards, down in the lower right-hand corner, you see the total hours for the day, and it says 0.05. Well, because I have 8 in here, I'm going to come in here and actually take that out, put 0.05, and you'll notice something here. Well, we won't do we'll do 0.05. Okay. We won't put any detail on that. We'll just go ahead and hit done there, and we're going to say done there. All right, so now I have 0.5 hours for that employee. Now this is green, letting me know I fully allocated Ted Dumont's time for the day. Okay, that's just one simple, easy way to do it. If I want to tap over to Jimmy Dean, we'll go ahead and delete those hours for Jimmy Dean. Jimmy Dean down there has 0.03, because we punched out just a touch later for him, put 0.03, and I've got the time records there. Okay, so very simple, very easy. There are ways in which I can copy time from one employee. So if I'm doing a crew and I want to copy time from one employee, I can tap that, tap the employees I want to copy the time records to. Very easy enough. I won't do it on this demonstration. I think you guys get the idea. Now, some of you will want to also do time for equipment. I'm going to do equipment time entry real fast. Say that we had the John Deere backhoe. I'm going to hit the plus button. I'm going to say we had the backhoe on our site all week long. You can do this same type of scenario for an employee. So if you have an employee that works the same job, same cost code, just zip down and do time for him the whole week. I can do the exact same thing. I'm going to choose a job. I'm going to do asphalt paving. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to finish, and I'm going to add and reset. So now I just added time for the entire week for the John Deere backhoe. Again, I could use the same type of screen for an employee. I just didn't have time to show you to you on the employee side. So if you're coding time to pieces of equipment or employee, that's another nice way to do time. We don't pigeonhole you into one way of doing time. So that's how I can do it from my phone. Let's move through the approval process real quick and just show you a few things. I'm going to tap on approve all and just say I've approved all my employees' time. Right there, easy enough. let's say that I'm also a company that needs to have the employees sign off on their time. So I'm going to tap on the signature, say, Jose, I've got some time for you this week. I've got you down for 40 regular hours, 2 hours of overtime. Does that look right? He says, yes. And then I've got an approval agreement. If my phone's in Spanish, it will show in Spanish. It's up to you. But I read this approval agreement. I'm not been injured on the job. I don't have COVID. I'm going to tap there to sign, and Jose just comes in here and signs off on his time card. Okay, very easy. Nice way to collect a signature for the employee, and I'm really done at that point as this employee. So I'm going to stop that right now. I'm going to go back to the website. I'm going to log out as Frank, because in my demo site, if you remember, I have these time records going to a project manager for review. So bear with me. I'm going to go in as Tom Brooks. Tom Brooks is my project manager who wants to review time. Tom comes in here and says, hey, I want to see everybody that has time on my jobs. Well, the nice thing is I see everybody that might have coded time to my jobs, and I say, well, this is great. I can see these hours, but I want to see more detail. I can either dump this information down to an Excel spreadsheet, or I can click on remote payroll, and I might want to come to what we call a labor detail report. And I could download this to Excel right here. I could download it to a nice PDF, or I could even filter and say, hey, you know what? We just started this job. I want to see how many hours I've got on this job right now. I'm going to do the Fort Wayne Officers Club, show me everybody that's coded time there. And lo and behold, I have only 2 employees that coded time this week to this job, Frank and Jose. Okay, I can see the day that they worked, what cost code they're using, everything. Very nice and simple report for me to use. Now, I can also come in here to my filter, clear my filters, and just see everybody's time. And then now I can see everybody's time here. Now, a couple things I want you to note is that if you remember, on my mobile phone, I put in a description, a unit description, where I said, I'll just use the microphone and do type to text. So this is where I could see that information there. If an employee has a daily comment, like we put on Donald Black, I would see it right here, click on it. Oh, well, that's a daily comment of why he has vacation on Friday the 10th. So a lot of easy ways to get information from the field. Now, let's say as a project manager, I'm happy with the time. I'm going to give it a thumbs up by clicking the thumbs up button right there. I'm done. Let's take this over to payroll right now. So we're going to log out. We're going to click on here. We're going to log in as the payroll admin, Laurie Becker. And as the payroll admin, I come in here and I'm going to go to daily time approval. Now, the nice thing is, if it's gold and it says the word approve, it means that the time records are at my level, ready for me to approve. If it's red and it says the word promote, it means that somebody below me either hasn't approved the time, or it's not at my level yet, or they've coded to a GL and the project manager didn't have to approve that. That's at my level. So I'm going to actually promote it to my level and take a quick look at Donald Black's time card by clicking on a button. I can quickly see Donald Black's time if I need to. Oh, that's nice, 8 hours a day, 8 hours of vacation, go into this GL. That's awesome. That's all I need. Let's say, however, I'm a person and I typically make changes before it goes into Sage. You can also click right here off to the right-hand side, click remote time, not remote time entry, sorry. Yeah, we'll do record time entry. I apologize. Again, trying to go too fast. Let's say, for instance, that Frank Galloway's time, this overtime, we did not want it to go to the excavating and backfill cost code. Maybe we want it to go somewhere else. So we're going to just tap on those hours. We'll come in and say, you know what? We really wanted to code that to concrete removal. Save that time, and I quickly changed time. Not necessarily the time record itself, I could have, but I changed the cost code. So when it goes into Sage, it's going to go to the cost code that I just changed it to. Very simple, very easy enough, great screen to review. Again, there's a host of other things that you can do, but just trying to make it through here pretty fast. Now, let's say as a admin, you know, I question my guys every once in a while on where they're clocking in and out. I question their time for the day. One way to review some hours here are to go into what we call that attendance worksheet that I spoke of. I can see time records this way, or if I want to see the punches, this is where I would come in and actually see the punches. This is me right here, my photo. If I click on that, there's that old man. It's kind of scary. And I looked at the punches for the day. Also, if I wanted to see all the punches, I can click on this map, see where everybody clocked in. And again, we're dealing with triangulation on a map. So I can tap on a punch. Oh, well, that's where Ted Dumont clocked in. And what about that one? Well, that's where Frank clocked in. Ted Dumont clocked out here. And again, it just shows the street view. If I minus that out, this is my house, right? This is my house on Viewcrest Lane in Kaysville, Utah. And you can see those punches were very concise, but I'm seeing all of them for the day if I want to see any outliers there. Okay, anyway, nice way for me to kind of keep track of that. Now, let's go back to time approval. Again, other items that you could use, but let's say that we're happy with the time records. I click thumbs up and I say, you know what, I want to export these out. I want to get them into Sage 300 or Sage 100. I simply click export. When I click export transactions in Sage 300 CRE, it's going to send me a text file. Looks just like this. I'll save it to my desktop, open up Sage 300 CRE Payroll, open up Payroll Tools, import time, and I'll import this nice little file that hh2 put together for me into Payroll. If you are Sage 100, I mentioned all you do is click that button. We open up the API in Sage. We push the records directly into the 551 daily time entry fields. Okay, I won't show that to you on this presentation. If you need to get in touch with me, that's really Payroll. There's a number of things that I'd love to show you what we do here at hh2. But for those of you who are interested, feel free. You're welcome to contact me directly. This is my information, khadley@hh2.com. You can see my lovely face there, khadley@hh2.com, or call our 800 number. Somebody will help you and assist you with this. But contact us. We'd love to maybe even dive into it a little bit deeper, to do a deeper dive. But we wanted this brief demonstration so that you could get just a quick idea of what we do and everything we offer. And not everything, but as much as possible. Thank you very much for watching this video. I look forward to hearing from you and possibly conducting a one-on-one or getting you guys signed up for the software. If you are interested, I'm going to actually take you to our website. Go to our website at hh2.com. It talks about our pricing. Go to products, and you will see all of our products in the menu here. When you click on learn more about remote payroll, click on pricing. It actually takes you to our pricing page. Okay. I'd be more than happy to explain that to you, how it works. It's a monthly subscription. It's based on the total number of employees or pieces of equipment that had time for them during the month. So we'll explain that at another time. Again, give me a call, but feel free to go to our website, explore our website, explore all the products that we have available. I'd love to talk to you. Have a great day, people. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye-bye.